Hello and welcome to WKP. Today we're going to be doing a forecast on Super Typhoon Surigae. Surigae right now has winds of over 180 miles per hour, so we definitely need to keep a close eye on Surigae because Surigae could cause a threat for the Philippines. So right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery, and as you can see, Surigae has an absolutely perfect eye, so a very, very strong super typhoon and is in some very good conditions for further strengthening. So let's take a look at the official track for Surigae. As you can see, right now we could see Surigae go back out into the Pacific Ocean, but we need to keep an eye on Surigae because there is a chance Surigae could go into the Philippines or brush the Philippines, bringing strong winds. As you can see, the 34 knot wind danger area, look at this. All throughout here, we could see that 34 knot wind. Look at that, right into the Philippines. So likely, if you're in the Philippines, you will experience some strong gusty winds even if there is not a landfall. And I would also expect some rain bands as the storm moves through if it doesn't make direct landfall because it will be going so close and it's a larger storm. So I would expect some rain and wind for the Philippines, even if we don't see a direct landfall. If we see a direct landfall, well, that's going to be another story. We'll have to keep an eye on Surigae to make sure that landfall doesn't happen. So let's take a look at the tracks of Surigae. As you can see, most models as of now are taking Surigae out into the ocean, but again, we need to keep an eye on this because these storms can rapidly change. Only one model is bringing it in to the Philippines as a weakening storm, but that model looks like an outlier as of now. Here's some more tracks. Two models in these set of tracks are going into the Philippines, but again, the swath of spaghetti models is bringing it out into the ocean. Still, even if there is no landfall, I would definitely keep an eye on the Philippines because there could be some very strong winds in the area. So we would still need to keep an eye on, and still something that you would want to be prepared for. So let's take a look at the current information for this storm. As you can see, right now, 155 knot winds, which would be around 178 miles per hour, but the Weather Service has rounded it to around 180 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 900 millibars. That is extremely low. So a very strong storm. So what are the chances we're going to see Surigae strengthen even more? Well, right now where Surigae is, there's some very nice warm water system, very good conditions. But as Surigae moves in deeper into the Pacific Ocean, there are some colder waters. So there is quite a big chance as of now that we will see Surigae weaken, and this is shown by the official track. As you can see, we're going to see Surigae weaken from now on, but I do believe it's possible we could see Surigae strengthen even more, maybe up to 185 miles per hour. I think that's where we'll see Surigae peak out at 185 miles per hour before eventually weakening as it gets into the less conducive conditions. So what we need to do now is take a look at the models. So let's go to the forecast models. We're going to go to GFS and we're going to go to the Western Pacific model. So let's take a look here. The GFS is bringing Surigae extremely close to the Philippines. Even at this, even this close, we would expect definitely some rain for the Philippines and strong winds with Surigae getting that close, especially since it seems that it's going to have quite a big wind field. And then we're going to see it veer out into the ocean and quite rapidly weaken as it goes out into the ocean. But sadly, it's not going to weaken as it moves through the Philippines. So we need to keep a close eye on Surigae. I'll keep making updates on the storm. I do think we could see some further strengthening, but as of now, it's not a major. Or as of now, I don't think we need to freak out about Surigae yet. It's still too early, but we need to keep a very close eye on Surigae since it's coming so close to the Philippines. Thank you for watching. This has been WKP.